Yeah, hi there, this is Tuxocher.com again. Welcome on my video channel. As I showed you in former videos, that the MacBook Pro has enough ports to connect USB-C or Thunderbolt drives. So far I didn't use them at all, till the time I bought the Thunderbolt 4 enclosure, where I did a separate video on. That's the one from Ugreen. That's a pretty worthy price for the value you get. And that one I used as a drive for Lightroom catalog, and of course as a cage for DaVinci Resolve video editing software. So that being said, I thought it would be nice to have additional Thunderbolt ports in reserve, so I could add another drive or maybe a higher resolution monitor. And so I started to get a Thunderbolt 4 dock on Amazon's Prime Day. The first dock I got was the Wavlink Thunderbolt dock. That's a Thunderbolt 4 dock with 3 Thunderbolt ports, separate ports for connecting monitors. That means you could either connect them via HDMI or DisplayPort, but they were in a group, so you have connection options for 2 monitors. And of course, what's important to me, 2.5 gigabit network connection, besides of other USB-A or USB-C port. So I connected this Wavlink Thunderbolt 4 dock to my MacBook, and the first thing I occurred was that all the displays were dark until I installed the DisplayLink drivers. That was okay. I installed the DisplayLink driver and I could run both my monitors here, the LG back in the background. It's a 4K 32-inch monitor, and in addition my smaller Dell monitor, which is a 27-inch 1440p monitor. But the problem occurred was the fact when I drive my LG monitor, even in 4K, I usually use a scaling factor on the MacBook Pro, so I get a little bit bigger text and menu text and so on. And that option was totally missing with the DisplayLink drivers, so I had to use the 4K monitor and the native resolution and with the sort of native size of all text and icons and so on. And that's a little bit too small for me, because I'm used to use this monitor at least with a scaling factor of 125 or 150 on the Windows PC. So I set up the scaling factor in macOS as the same. So what did I do? Okay, I returned that Thunderbolt dock to Amazon. And then I thought there was an offer on the Ugreen Thunderbolt 5 dock, and I thought, okay, it might be invest in the future if I invest 80 euros more. So I got myself the Thunderbolt 5 dock from Ugreen. The Ugreen Thunderbolt 5 dock is a pretty decent dock with a small AC power adapter. That's one positive thing I could mention to this dock, but it doesn't have any connectors for HDMI and DisplayPort. It doesn't use either the DisplayLink drivers, but I had to connect the monitors to the Thunderbolt 5 connectors, and there are only 4 of them to the dock. One is for the downstream to your MacBook or to your PC, and there are only 3 left. And if you use that for the monitors, you already have 2 additional ports in use. On this port, of course, without any additional driver, I could use the scaling factor MacBook Pro. That was okay, but when I connected all my stuff I need, then I had, as I mentioned, one Thunderbolt 5 dock for the downstream to the computer, one for the monitor, that is my LG in this case, one for the other monitor, that's a Dell, and one for the Ugreen Thunderbolt for drive. So even using a dock, I had no Thunderbolt 5 ports free for later use, let's say for another drive or high resolution monitor or anything else. And I tried out to connect those monitors through USB-C directly or USB-C to HDMI adapter. That didn't work out either. So I had the same situation if I would connect all that stuff I need directly to the MacBook, because on the MacBook I could connect via USB-C my monitor, which charges the monitor at the same time and makes a DisplayPort connection to the monitor. On the other port I can use my Ugreen drive, and the third port is used for the network connection. If I have to use a second monitor, like my Dell here, I can plug it in into the MacBook right away via HDMI connector. So there was no additional usage in using a dock, and that is for 280 euros. That's a little bit too much. So I ended up returning this to Amazon too, because I wouldn't be that hard to call it malfunction or something like that, but it didn't utilize the USB-C ports for monitor connection, and that is my complaint about that. Maybe they bring out another dock which will use or fix that problem, but so far we'll stick to the solution without any dock, because that's not more complicated as using a dock in this case, like with the Ugreen Thunderbolt 5. Okay, that was my experience with two Thunderbolt docks for the MacBook Pro especially. Of course, you can use with a Windows PC, but so far I will stick to the solution connecting everything I need directly to the MacBook Pro, and that will do anything I need very fine. If you have any questions to this, you might as well place them in the comments to this video, or in the comment function of the corresponding blog post. And if this video was a little bit helpful for your decision on Thunderbolt dock, you might as well place a like on the video, and surely would help the channel if you subscribe but then don't forget to hit the bell so you get a notification every time I upload a new video. Okay, that was my little review on Thunderbolt docks so far, and all I have to say is till the next time, ciao, Tux Oche.